There is a plastic spoon living rent-free in your brain right now. No, seriously. A 2025 paper published in Nature Medicine shows that the amount of plastic in our brains is about the same as a plastic spoon. Thought differently, that's about 7 pen caps. And it gets worse. The concentration of plastic in our brains increased by 50% between 2016 and 2024. That's a 50% increase in just 8 years. So how did a plastic spoon end up in all of our brains? Today, we'll look at 10 sneaky ways plastic is infiltrating your body, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. But first, here's another scary fact. Scientists have found microplastics in another part of our body that really made me reconsider our future, our unborn generations, our testicles. Yep, researchers found microplastics just swimming alongside our sperm. And this gave me a brilliant idea. What if we just embraced this attraction? 2 massive artificial testicles, one in the Pacific and one in the Atlantic. Ocean cleaned, problem solved. But while we wait for my Nobel Prize winning solution, let's talk about the real problem with plastic. It doesn't actually biodegrade. Plastic just keeps breaking down into smaller and smaller pieces. It reaches microplastic status when it becomes smaller than 5 millimeters. That's about the size of a sesame seed. And plastic doesn't stop there. They keep breaking down until they're small enough to cross into our bloodstream, brain, and balls. Particles smaller than 0.1 micrometers are sometimes referred to as nanoplastics. But wait, doesn't plastic get recycled? Well, turns out plastic recycling is a massive scam perpetuated by big oil and the plastics industry. In fact, 91% of plastic is never recycled. Okay, so microplastics are everywhere, but are they actually harmful to our health? A recent study shows that people with microplastics in their carotid arteries have higher risk of heart failure, stroke, or death from any cause. But it gets worse. Another study shows that people with dementia have significantly higher concentrations of microplastics in their brain. To be clear, most of these studies are observational, meaning we can see correlations but can't prove direct causation yet. It could just be that brains of people with dementia are less able to clear out toxins. But here's how I see it. I don't need a 20-year longitudinal study to tell me that it's not ideal to have bits of plastic in my brain and arteries. It's like if a study comes out saying, swallowing glass shards may cause bleeding in one's esophagus. I'd be like, thanks, but I could have guessed that. So how do we stop these microplastics from getting into our bodies? I've broken it down into 3 simple steps. Step 1. Buy a private island. Step 2. Surround said island with filters that clear all incoming seawater of microplastics. Step 3. Farm organic food on said island. If this idea doesn't work for you, that's understandable. Owning a private island has become associated with certain individuals, some of whom may or may not have killed themselves. For those of us who live normal lives, here are 10 sneaky ways microplastics are gatecrashing your bodies, and what you can actually do about it. Number 9 is something you do every day and might surprise you. Plastic food containers. A 2023 study shows that by microwaving plastic containers, we release millions of microplastics and billions of nanoplastics into our food. This happens even with containers that are labeled microwave safe. Instead of using a plastic container, carry and microwave your food in a glass container. If you have to carry food in a plastic box, that's okay. Just transfer the food to a non-plastic bowl before microwaving it. Your brain will thank itself. Cutting boards. Every chop on a plastic board is seasoning your food with microplastics. Switch to a wood or bamboo chopping board. They look way sexier in cooking videos anyway. Teflon pans. Teflon, which is a brand name for polytetrafluoroethylene, or PTFE, creates a non-stick surface for cooking but releases millions of microplastics into food. To avoid this, swap out your Teflon pan for a stainless steel pan, carbon steel wok, or cast iron skillet, depending on what you like to cook. Teflon pans exist only to make tamagoyaki. Kitchen sponges. When we scrub dishes with kitchen sponges made of plastic, we're essentially sanding off microplastics onto our dishes and into our waterways. Try finding sponges or brushes made of natural fibers. Water bottles. Picture this. It's summer, your car is heating up, and your water bottle is becoming a nice sauna for plastics to leach into the H2O. You then scull down all this delicious plastic-infused water. Instead of using disposable water bottles, invest in one made of stainless steel. Speaking of heating up water, kettles. Try to find a kettle where the boiling water never touches plastic. I spent multiple days on the internet trying to find a suitable kettle until eventually I found this one. Tea bags. Tea is healthy, but a lot of tea bags are made with plastic fibers. One study found that a single tea bag can release 11.6 billion microplastics into your cup. That's billion with a B. If you're a tea bagger, drinker, switch to loose leaf tea and use a stainless steel infuser, or find tea bags made from plant fibers. Okay, you might be thinking, this feels like a bit too much. But here's the thing, you don't have to change everything at once. Actually, you don't have to change anything at all. But if you're concerned about plastic exposure, starting with a few small changes from this list can make a real difference. Let's talk about something we all do weekly that involves your wardrobe.
These are my 407s.
Specifically, your laundry.
Right. Whoa, come on!
Every time you wash synthetic clothing, think polyester, nylon, acrylic, thousands of tiny plastic fibers are loosened or rub off the clothes that you then put on. I like my techwear and hike-core aesthetics, but I've started choosing clothing made from natural materials like cotton, wool or linen. This leans more into the minimalist or quite luxury aesthetics and helps me pretend to be more sophisticated. Toothbrushes. Most people brush their teeth twice a day, or at least they should be. The problem is they use a plastic toothbrush. This means we're pretty much constantly scrubbing plastic into our mouth. Consider switching to a bamboo toothbrush with plastic-free bristles. Finally, the air we breathe has microplastics too, so just stop breathing. Or if you spend a lot of time indoors, get an air purifier with a HEPA filter for your room. There are some ridiculously expensive air purifiers, but at the end of the day, an air purifier is just a fan pushing air through a filter. I've seen some cursed DIY air purifiers engineered to perfection with duct tape. And there you have it, 10 sneaky ways microplastics are infiltrating our bodies, plus what we can actually do to minimize exposure. I say minimize because no matter what precautions we take, we will never completely avoid microplastics, even if we've got that private island. But if you make the switches we just talked about, you will drastically reduce the amount of plastic going into your body over time. Instead of a whole plastic spoon living rent-free in your brain, maybe it'll downgrade to just a plastic teaspoon. Let me know some of the ways you have tried to minimize plastic exposure. Drop it in the comments. I'm taking all suggestions, no matter how reasonable or completely unhinged.